Excited here to welcome Alex Smith.
There was no doubt in my mind this is where I wanted to be. Here to get to work and make the most of it.
Bring it here tight. Bring it in tight. Play with emotion. Be locked in. There's live.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Smith steps up into the pocket. He's throwing long, and the catch is made. Touchdown! Alex Smith makes a great read. He'll run. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He does. Touchdown!
One at a time. Let's get it going.
They're throwing long. Hill's wide open. At the 35, at the 30, 20. Touchdown! Smith will keep it. He dives to the end zone. Touchdown! And one of the greatest comebacks in Chiefs Kingdom history. For the first time in 22 years, the Chiefs are advancing in the AFC playoffs.
Special person. I texted him a while back. If he gets into coaching, I get first dibs on him.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to come and say a few words today. As a lot of people know, Alex Smith has decided to hang it up and try out retirement life. It's a real sad day for me. As a big Chiefs fan and as a big Alex Smith fan, he's the one and only reason I ever really followed the train to Kansas City. I followed him from college to the 49ers, and that's the one thing about Colin Kaepernick I'm truly thankful for. If Alex hadn't got hurt and they put him in, he would probably still have been with the 49ers. He was just such a phenomenal quarterback, and he may not have been, the best quarterback in the league. He's not Tom Brady, and he might not be as good as Patrick Mahomes is, but he's always going to have a huge place in my heart. So as you can see today, it's just me, and but Dad's not here. He's not really a Chiefs fan, but I'm sure he loves Alex Smith because it's hard not to. What's up, Heavy Metal Detective? Yeah, I do love him. He's just so great, and he's such a good person. And I think this year, him coming back onto the football field after the 17 surgeries and almost had to lose his leg, he almost had to lose his life. That is probably like the most inspirational thing I've ever seen, and I'm just really torn up, and every time I watch clips and replays of him, it just makes me really emotional. Today's been a very emotional day. Just the very first thing I saw when I woke up was it sucks, but I'm so happy for him, and I know he's still going to continue to do great things off of the field. And if he does take up coaching, Coach Reed said that he has first dibs on him, and I think that would make me so happy to see him come back to Kansas City and try a coaching side of things. And I don't know. I think it could be good for him and good for the Chiefs and the Chiefs fans and everything. So I'm super excited for the possibility of that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm real caught up in my feelings today, and I just felt like I needed to come on here and say something just because how much I love him, and I'm so thankful for everything he did for the Chiefs organizations. He got the Chiefs to the playoffs and won their first playoff game in 22 years. I think him coming in along with Andy Reid was like the turning point for that organization, and ever since then, I think he built the foundation for everything that they have now and everything that they will have continuing success in the future. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the star of that team, and he didn't get there by himself. Like he was already good at football. For anybody who watched him in Texas Tech, he didn't have any big receivers, and he didn't really have that much, but he was still a good quarterback. But coming as a rookie in the league, like it helps having a mentor and having someone to look up to. And I respect teams that bring in a rookie quarterback and make them sit for a year behind a veteran quarterback and learn so they can, learn the league a little better than just throwing them in for Patrick Mahomes. And I really feel like him mentoring him shaped him into like the quarterback that Patrick when Alex Smith left and went to Washington, but it was kind of cool watching him move teams and still having success. It was, one of the first times Washington had success in a long time. So everything about Alex Smith's career has been really bittersweet to me. He's making it into the Hall of Fame from that college in Utah that he went into because, he just did things there that was incredible for that school. And then, he was a 49er for a long time coming out of the draft for first overall pick. He was an amazing guy. Yeah, exactly. He walked so Patrick Mahomes could run. I don't know. There's just so much to love about that guy. And I remember that day in November in 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years ago when he took that hit and his leg just got mangled. It was the most heartbreaking thing. I seriously cried. I've never been a Washington fan until Alex went there, and I absolutely hate the NFC East because I just feel like it's garbage. But he made the NFC East worthwhile to me, and that injury was seriously, it was so ugly, and I never thought I would see him walk again, let alone get the chance to watch him play football again. And this past season, like I said, was seriously the most inspiring thing that's I've ever witnessed in my life. And I just feel like if he could do that after everything, anybody can do anything. It's truly amazing. And his family and all of the love from Kansas City, the support he had coming back, I applaud him, and everything about him just makes me so happy. What's up, Marty? Thanks for stopping by. I don't know how long I'll be on here tonight, but I appreciate you stopping in and saying hey. But yeah, looking at you, Cincinnati, with Joe Burrow, I really truly felt that they should have kept Andy Dalton for the last year of his contract and let Joey B sit for a year. I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't do great for the games he did play, but, that's what happens sometimes. I'm not blaming that injury on that, but he would have been built into a much better quarterback, much smarter quarterback if he had been able to sit for a year. What's up, Marky? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I don't know. Today's almost as sad as the day that, he did get hurt. So I feel it. I mean, it was the same with Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers. They never played for any of my teams, and Phillip Rivers played for one of the rivalry teams that I had, and but it was just so bittersweet. And Drew Brees, I don't remember the last quarterback that played before him because and I'm not that old, but I didn't get into football early enough to even see anyone play before him. So him retiring was just very sad. And it's just going to be weird. I can't imagine anyone else, being the quarterback that sits and controls that New Orleans Saints team. Yeah. I wish I could watch some MMA, but I don't know. I just like football, and I like baseball and some basketball, but really, football is everything. So I wish I could watch enough MMA to keep up a conversation, but it's it's not that easy. My attention span isn't very big if it's not things I already like, and I don't like to be that way. But I mean, I can try just for you. I might watch some MMA just to be able to talk about it for a little bit with you. Yeah. I don't know. This is just like it's super weird also being on here without my dad. Uh like I said, he's in bed right now, but he's got to work early in the morning, but uh it's fun. It's so fun, and I'm really happy that I could be here just to talk about everything that happened, like in his career and what's going on now, and hopefully his future. I'm really excited to see what the future holds for him, even if that means no more football, which that man loves the game as much as I do. So I can't see him turning down to being able to coach, even if it's not professional football. Uh, I am excited to see what happens. This is exactly how I feel. MMA isn't quite my thing, but maybe I could get into it though. Yeah, you never know. I take interest in random things. Um, Also, I am going to Rose versus Zing Welly, Jessica Andrade versus. I'm not even gonna try to say that dude's name, but you know what? I work at a casino and they have a sports book which will probably have this fight on it. And if I'm there, I will check it out just so if the next time I see you in here, I can talk to you about it. Uh, it's this weekend, so it won't be this Thursday's stream, but maybe next Thursday stream I'll bring it up if you're in here just for you. I will try to catch that. But I will I'm really like not used to this just being on here by myself. So I'm going to drop a link in here if anyone wants to come hang out with me and talk about football or Alex Smith or I guess MMA. I mean, if you want to teach me, you can teach me. But yeah, for sure, many thanks. I'll check it out. I'm very open to anything. I love new things, and MMA is not new to me, but it's new to the fact that I've never willingly just went out of my way and watched it. So I'll check it out and let you know what I think. And I will look out for the Valentina since you say they are the GOAT. And I'll hype them up and talk about them at work like I know who that is. And, hopefully they do GOAT things. Also, for the however many people are in here right now, if you don't use TubeBuddy, you should use TubeBuddy, and the link is in the description. Or to help your YouTube channel. I feel like I need to promote that every time I'm on here just because. So, yeah, definitely check it out and click on my link down there, and maybe you'll find some use for it. Also, heavy metal. You're calling correct. There was someone else in here the other day, and I'm really bad at names, but I'm just trying to make sure I have that. Yeah, okay. You just answered my question.
Hey. Let me move
Hey,
over
what's
here.
up, Colin?
Get the light on me right, since we're on StreamYard. How you doing, Alex?
Are you outside?
get myself situated. Yeah, I'm out on my patio. I'm smoking.
Oh, I saw the white and I was like, where are you at that it's daylight?
I just got off a stream like, I don't know. Well, I guess it's been a couple hours, but it was like dark here, and my buddy in California, it was all bright and sunny, you know. But yeah, it's just my lights out here. I had to come outside and smoke. But yeah, I think that's
I
cool
hear
that
you
you
there.
are even doing this over Alex Smith, because I heard you talk about him last week, and I could tell that you looked up to him as an athlete. Like that was one of your dudes, you know what I mean? So, and I've had some in my life where if StreamYard was out back in the day, there were people that I would come online and be like, "Hey, shout out to this dude, man. He's meant a lot to me, you know, or this person, whoever it is in your life, athlete or brainiac."
Yeah, honestly, like if I can meet any athlete that's not Tom Brady, because like I talk about him all the time too. Every time someone asks me what athlete would I want to meet, and it's definitely Tom Brady, so I could tell him how much I hated him. But if there was someone I actually wanted to meet for me, it would always be Alex Smith, and just to thank him for everything. It's between him and Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning is the reason I ever started watching football. And the only reason I ever loved football was Peyton Manning. And then Alex Smith, I started watching him in college. And then he, was a 49er, which I had never liked the 49ers, but I was so stoked to just keep watching his career. And,
Hmm.
and then he came to the Chiefs, and I was like, I'm not NFC fan like at all. I don't like teams on that side of the football world, but the AFC, I've always loved watching the AFC, and so I was like, I'll check out the Chiefs. I'll give them a chance, and then I just fell in love with the organization and the culture and the fans and everything, and then everything just started going so well and clicking, and I truly believe that him coming there was like the foundation for all the success they're having now. And it's just
Hmm.
so incredible. If I ever met him, I would just tell him, that I am so thankful for everything. And then watching him play football again, like I cried. I was at work with the day that they put him in because their starter got hurt, and I like cried at work, and I'm just got so emotional about it.
Powerful.
It's something you never thought you'd see, and it happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
too
just
cool.
it's just crazy to me.
I've had moments like that in sports, even at the collegiate level. And we talked about that like last week. Like, okay, I'm more into college sports and I have zero ideas what's going on with baseball. Even though I would say my team is the Reds, I guess, even though I'm a Riverbats fan in Louisville.
Right.
But I don't know, there's been athletes in my life where it's like this guy does something, he retired. Bo Jackson. I remember
Bo
Bo Jackson
Jackson.
day, man. Some of the things, it's amazing, man, what people can do, man. And you follow them, and now here you are talking about this, and I praise it. It's awesome. What's up, Shelby?
Are you
She
there?
ain't here.
Maybe.
Hello?
Yep, I heard her.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. It's just
Alrighty.
it's
I
taking
don't
a
know. I
minute
just went
to
on a rant. She
adjust
and
itself.
Alex inspired me.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you.
She
Yeah.
can do that at times.
Hey, you guys,
Yeah, I
you
was
all
just sitting
have
here
to get
looking at some
into
of
freaking MMA. She gone. She back.
I was listening, it's not me.
yeah, I want to so bad because I like to watch like the replays and stuff like that, but for some reason it just takes a lot of effort for me to sit and figure out what's good and what's not good, what they're doing. Because like I could be like, oh, that was really cool, that looked good, and then it wouldn't be anything.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
like I understand you're probably like you get bored out when it comes to the grappling and whatnot. If you have a wrestler that takes down a kickboxer and they're laying on top of them, then I don't know. I'm a grappler. I've taught jujitsu. I've 25 years on the mat. But So I can respect it, but a lot of people that tune into MMA, they want to see guys rock them, sock them, and so I understand. But once you get into the grappling aspect or see how well or versatile a person is, if they come in as a kickboxing champion, they start practicing jujitsu and wrestling, you can appreciate it more once you understand it. But it still gets boring when somebody's laying on top of somebody. But all sports get boring at some point. There's a period where you have to settle down. So yeah, if that makes sense.
I mean, I watch a lot of baseball,
Yeah,
so
I got it.
I know
That makes
what
sense.
boring looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some games where they
Definitely.
go, 9 innings, no runs, just continuous strikeouts, and it's super awesome to see a pitcher continuously strike a dude out over and over and over again. But it's just like, where's the excitement?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah,
I
I get
want
that.
speed pitching. I wish they had like time limits and then the pitcher, but you got to warm up. You know what I mean?
Right. There's a couple
Yeah, I
things that
know.
I wish that they would change to make more interesting, but it's been the same way for a long time, and so I respect the game for what it does and how they do things because that's their thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like a few years ago, they tried out like the pitching clock or whatever, trying to speed them up.
Yeah, I remember that.
I do remember them playing around with that for a little bit. But yeah, I think like when I think of like so you said something about that you couldn't believe that he felt like he was so young. Like Alex Smith's 36, and in my head, I'm only 24, but like 36 feels so young to me. And so I kind of saw him retiring. Like I saw it coming because he was a free agent this year and no one picked him up. But I was kind of like hoping that he would come be a backup to Patrick Mahomes for at least a year so he could retire a Chief. But I like as much as I saw it coming, like at the same time, he was just kept doing interviews, like talking about how he wanted to play football and he wasn't done. And so like, it's still like really just kind of threw me off. Like, he was talking up coming back another year and then just out of the blue, just was like, all right, I'm retiring.
It's so disappointing because like no one wanted to pick him up even as a backup. Like he has so much knowledge and so much talent that you'd think that somebody would want him to like coach their quarterback even just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It seemed like yesterday that he was the next big thing too, coming out of college, and then he went to the Niners. I remember that, and he didn't pan out as well as I thought, but he was always a name, and he would start wherever. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's
I just think he didn't ever have like the right coaching around him for him to do as well as they thought he would do in the NFL. And like that's why I was so excited when he joined up with Andy Reid, because Andy Reid is a hell of a coach, even when he was back with the Eagles. And I hate the Eagles, but I love him as a coach. And so I think him being the one coaching Alex was kind of what turned him around, because he like did things that the 49ers were like, why didn't you do that for us? And so like me and her read this stat today that there was so many touchdowns and less than 5 interceptions in a season, and it was like him and Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers were the only quarterbacks to do it.
Good company.
Which is
Yeah,
which is crazy because like a lot of people, I feel like he truly is underrated. Like I feel like a lot of people don't give him like credit for what he has done and what he can do, and so they just see like the.
Do you ever wonder what he would have done if he would have been drafted by Kansas City, or he played for Andy Reid and not went to the 49ers? Because he was that next. I thought Alex Smith was going to be the man. Of course, I thought Chris Redmond was going to be also. So I'll be fair there. My picks aren't great, but I think if he wouldn't have went to the Niners and got under the right coach, Alex Smith would have been bigger than what he is, but he was still a trooper. And when he came to Kansas City, just like you said, he showed his colors and he came back and he was a starter, where most guys would just flutter out.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
he's one of those guys
that dude is like the definition of like having passion. Like, he just really loves football, and like he cares about making things better and doing what he can to succeed. And his time in San Francisco, but he just hadn't found his place yet in the league.
And he's
Mhm.
always playing to like his full potential too. Like you've never see him like on the field slacking off. Like he's one of those guys that he plays for what he wants.
I'm just real sad he'll never get a ring.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get
Well,
one of
Dan
those.
Marino didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of players in the league over the years that never got a ring or even played in a Super Bowl that like I really feel like deserved it. Like Larry Fitzgerald, like that man deserves a ring.
Yeah. Larry Fitzgerald was the man. He got me many
He's still
points
the
like a
man.
couple seasons. Yeah. He got me so many points on my fantasy football teams. Like, and I didn't play last season. I really haven't been watching as much sports besides MMA and U of L, like I've said, but like when I was paying attention to NFL still, and I'm not that Colin Kaepernick guy, you know, like I'm not politically into it. I just haven't watched it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but when I was and I was playing fantasy football, it was like Larry Fitzgerald was putting up numbers. I mean, killing it for me. I won the league one year with him, and he put numbers up. That was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, that dude's the man. I mean, and he's been in good company over his career. Like the Super Bowl he did play in, I was really sad they didn't win because they had I'm trying to think of his name, the quarterback who played for the St. Louis Rams.
Sam
Kurt
Bradford.
Warner. He had Kurt Warner as his quarterback. Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald in the Super Bowl together, and they didn't win, and that was their only chance to get a ring, and that's just disappointing.
Yeah, it sucks seeing like great athletes when they're with teams and you see them perform, but they don't get that ring. Like Dan Marino, like I said earlier, it's like that guy has to get. I don't know, make him a ring. You know?
A mentionable honor ring.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, it blows my mind to this day after everything I know about Dan Marino that he never won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so
But
crazy. Like
man did.
he's one of the names that you automatically think of, or anyone talks about football legends. Like you hear his name, and then you look at the stats. Like, okay, yeah, and then he's never won a ring. Like he's
No.
not a champ.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's
when
crazy.
it comes to NFL, like last season, I've told you all, I watch like U of L quarterbacks, but mainly I've been watching the Ravens. And you kind of crapped on them last week. What are they going to have to do to win? I want Lamar to win. You know, I'd rather Teddy win, but I guess I'm more into the Ravens now. You know, if I had to pull, what do they got to do besides pass?
That's what they got to do. Like seriously, like they just it's like, okay, your first receiver's not open immediately. All right, Lamar, just go run and try to do what you can. Like that's what he does,
And
and
then
people have
we'll throw our halfback at you. That's all they do.
and not actually gaining what he was like his first season in the league.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid that if they don't start protecting the quarterback and getting him to where he needs to be passing wise, that he's going to get seriously hurt.
Mm-hmm. So would you all say that their line is okay? They don't have to work on their offensive line compared to any other team?
I mean, compared to any other team, yeah, they probably need to fix it because I know some teams that have like perfect lines, like the Colts. But I just think that, like, see, that's why their run game was working for them so well. Lamar could run, and no one was prepared for it their first season with him. And then their running backs could also run because, like, they had the offensive line. It's like they have all the same guys, but it's not working as well as it did because they've been figured out. And so that's why they need to open their playbook up and spread it out a little bit. But the problem is like in college, Lamar could throw. Like he threw well on the run. He could throw deep. He could throw short. He could do anything. And now he's like, if you watch him when he throws like any pass over 10 yards and it gets completed, it's because the receiver had to work hard to get to it. It's like he's not as accurate as he was in college.
Yeah.
He can't just throw it straight to the guy. He throws it in front of him or behind him, and they have to reach for it like more than they should. And I think that's why there's a lot of dropped passes or incomplete passes like with his receivers. And I don't even think it's because he's that bad. I just think I don't know what changed for him. And I have to say, I think it's the coaching staff. I mean, they built that team to be a run team, which is good for him. But like, they can't win if they're playing from behind. I think they've won one game with Lamar total out of every game he's played where they had been behind at any point in the game. So, and they think that, well, their main thing is they want to stay true to who they are. And I respect that because they do it. And they're like, we're going to run no matter what. We're going to stay true to who we are. We're not going to change just because we're losing. And, you know, that is where I do have my respect. But the thing is fourth quarter, like late in the game, and you want to just run. What if you get stopped and your clock's going to keep running? Like, it's not going to stop because you didn't get any success on your play. You need to be able to move the ball down the field and move it fairly quickly. And I think that is honestly their only issue. And if they don't change that, I don't see them ever winning a Super Bowl under Lamar. And like, he is talented enough to be able to, you know, be a Super Bowl team, and their defense is great. They're, you know, they have one of the better tight ends in the league. Their wide receiving class isn't that great, but like they all can catch balls. So like I feel like it's all the tools are there. They just need to learn how to use everything and not just what they know the best.
So my question is, at what point do you think that they will start changing their style of play if this isn't working for them?
Yeah.
I don't know, because like their coach Harbaugh, he's like dead set on one thing, and it's just like, open your eyes, man. Like, you have to see that this is what's happening, and he knows it. Like, I know deep down he knows it. He's been coaching for a long time. You know, he's won rings before, and like I at some point something's got to give. And I don't know, maybe his brother needs to be like, dude, everything was going great and now it's not, you know, you need to fix it. Like maybe someone close to him, or, you know, everyone on the team gets mad at him. And yeah, I don't know, like something's got to give. And, you know, I am an AFC North fan. I love the Bengals and I want to see them do well. And I also don't want to see it be the end of Lamar's career because all they do is run the ball and he gets hurt. Like, I don't like the guy because he plays for Baltimore. But, you know, I don't want to see someone's career get ended because you can't fix what's wrong with your team.
Yeah. My next question is
getting a concussion next year at one point if they don't open it up. At least they need some kind of receiver on that team to make a threat. Then, like you said, Lamar has not been as accurate. So I don't know. They need to throw the ball more, or he's going to be getting set out next year. And then we're going to have RG3, and then he'll get a concussion. And that's just their style of play, though. They better figure it out.
And you have to go get Chase McSorley from the locker room. But
maybe
Chase McSorley.
Well, Julian Edelman. Where's he going to end up? Is he going to play? You know?
Oh, I don't know. He said he retired, so I mean, I don't know if that means like he's done, or what he's gonna do.
I didn't know that. It seemed like because he didn't retire, right? They cut him, right?
So they cut him, and then he announced his retirement like a little bit later in that day.
So
they
it's
said
kind of slippery there.
Yeah, they said that they cut him because he failed his physical.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't see him failing his physical though. Like, it's just such a weird thing to me. Like, he's.
Yeah, what did he do? Smoke weed? Was it? I mean, I don't like physically. How would he fail it? He's been performing, you know.
Right. That was my thought too. Unless he just didn't do his physical, and then obviously that would be an automatic fail. But.
Something
Are we
don't
talking
seem
about
right.
Edelman? Because I cut you guys both cut out at the same time, so I missed some of that.
Yeah, Edelman.
Yeah, I just brought up some wish list, like would they get Edelman on the Ravens because they need another receiver, and maybe that would inspire Lamar and he'd start throwing right. So, yeah, we're talking about
Well,
Edelman.
what happened with Edelman, he did fail his physical, but halfway through the season last year, he got a knee injury, and I don't think he was recovering as fast or as well as he'd like to. And I think he was having issues with it. And so that kind of, and plus he was playing without his dynasty team. And so I think he was like, I'm kind of done. Like I had my run, I had fun.
Yeah.
And he's pretty loyal, so I don't think he wanted to play anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah, so the only way that Edelman comes out of retirement is if we see him miraculously get better and end up in Tampa Bay. Just like Gronk, right out of retirement, right under Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
I will be so mad. I will seriously walk outside and I'll record everything and I will scream for like 20 minutes straight because I will be so mad.
I've never been like a Patriots fan. They've been pretty dominant, over the last decade plus.
2 decades.
But yeah, exactly. But like for Brady to end up there and then Gronk, the way it ended there, and now if Edelman did that, oh my God, that's a soap opera in itself. I'd love it though. I would laugh, even though I'm not going to cheer for him. It would be funny.
I'm not going to cheer for them because they beat my team in the Super Bowl when they shouldn't have even been there to begin with.
I would cheer for the Chiefs over Tampa Bay just because I got lost and had to pay like 10 tolls on the highway in Tampa Bay. So I hate that city, I hate that city. So I'm not going to just because, but I never liked Brady before then too. I never liked his face,
Me neither. He's got a punchable face.
Yeah, punchable face, man. Honestly.
He's got a punchable personality too. Like I watch his interviews sometimes just because when you hate somebody, you like pay attention to him a lot. And I watched some of his interviews and he's like really like creepy. Like he's always like
yeah.
And it's just like you're creeping me out. Stop making that face.
He has like that I don't know, a fart face, I guess you could say. It just looks like he has that face that says, ugh, like I'm better than you. I don't know. I don't know. I've never liked the guy, honestly.
I
a
truly
killer.
believe he thinks he's the best to ever do it. And as much as success as he's had, I don't believe that he's as good as people think.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a lot of help. It's not just been him.
He's never had a bad defense. Not one time in his entire career has he had a defense that's let him down. Any games he's lost, it's been on him. And how many games has he lost? Not very many.
Yeah, and plus he's vegan, so.
I love that his very last play as a New England Patriot was a pick six.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I just watch that over and over again.
She hates him, loves Alex Smith, hates Tom Brady.
That could be a headline that I'll stick by for the rest of my life.
I cannot wait to meet up with your dad and Nick. It's going to be fun. I've got a great day planned. But
where you guys going?
Planned it yet. I'm going to take them to a place here in Clarksville, Lapping Park, and probably down to like the Interpretive Center and areas on the Ohio River. He's going to have to do a video about Ohio River history. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fitting.
Yeah. I don't know. We discussed this months ago, but we're just getting into the season now, so he'll be here.
I was gonna say, I feel like he's able to make more plans and do more things now that the weather's warming up and not freezing.
Yeah. I've got some killer spots. I'm gonna meet him either way next month at Flash Bash. He's gonna be there. I've got a campsite. I think him and Nick are gonna come on a Saturday, I believe. So it'll be fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, he told me he was gonna come live or come at least hang out in the chat when I went live tonight, and then I called him with a question right before because I wanted to play that Alex Smith video and I wanted to make sure everything was good with it before I did it. And then he was like, "All right, I'm going to bed," and I was like, "Oh, gee, thanks."
Well,
It's
he
a
does
pretty
have
sweet video, though. Were you in
It
here
was.
at the beginning?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so. I saw like the end of it, the
Yeah, I'll
very
play it
end of
again.
it. Yeah, it was mainly like him making plays and whatnot, right?
Yeah, I'll play it again just because I want to watch it again.
Your dad was
yeah.
Excited
awake
here to
28.
welcome Alex Smith.
There was no doubt in my mind this is where I wanted to be. Here to get to work and make the most of it.
Now bring it in here tight. Bring it in tight. Play with emotion. Be locked in this hip.
3, 1, 2, 3,
Smith steps up into the pocket. He's throwing long, and the catch is made. Touchdown! Alex Smith makes a great read. He'll run. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He does. Touchdown!
One at a time. Let's get it going.
They're throwing long. Hill's wide open. At the 35, at the 30, 20. Touchdown! Smith will keep it. He dives to the end zone. Touchdown! And one of the greatest comebacks in Chiefs Kingdom history. For the first time in 22 years, the Chiefs are advancing in the AFC playoffs.
Special person. I texted him a while back. If he gets into coaching, I get first dibs on him.
Oh God, I love it so much.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
Your dad was
What's
awake,
up, CJ?
let's see, about 29 minutes ago. Oh, hey, CJ.
Uh-oh. Come on, Shane. 20 minutes ago?
Yeah. He just reposted that link that you shared on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He never mind up on what he wants to do.
He's busy. He's too busy for us.
He is a busy man. I'll give him that. I don't know how he has
First
enough time in the
time.
day to do half the stuff he does.
Yep, my first time calling in. He hasn't called in either. Let me down again, Shane. No, I'm just kidding. No, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's hard
Meet
for
up
me
with
to.
that guy.
It's hard for me to get with him to schedule anything that's not online.
He told a
He's always
story
got
one
something.
time. I don't know if it was on that 24-hour stream, but he said that Alex, you took him to a scantily clad type of place just to embarrass him. Him and Nick were laughing about it.
What?
When you took him
You
to the
took
strip.
him out. Yep. I said scantily clad. I guess I threw you off there. But yeah, you took him somewhere and embarrassed him. I thought that was so funny. I didn't even know your face or who you were then. This was before this channel. But him and Nick were talking about it, and I was like, well, that's good. You know what I mean? That's pretty funny.
It was so funny because we pulled up and this girl that was sitting in the car next to us, she was sitting in her phone and she was just crying. Like, and he was like, "Is she crying?" And I was like, I think so. Should we ask her if she's okay? And he goes, "Mm-mm."
Yeah, no, stay away.
It was so funny.
Hey, if one of my daughters did that, man, it embarrassed me too. No, but hey, I went to that place though, because he said on Preston Highway, and I know that place. We went there when my buddy, it was his 18th birthday, and you can say the name of the place, but it's on Preston Highway, and there's only one. And I remember going there, and they had like this room. It was kind of like a dungeon area. And my buddy Steve, he's like very proper. Just he was always the good boy. And this woman put his hand in cuffs. So both his hands were handcuffed, you know what I mean? And she rips his pants down, and there's like me and like 6 of my buddies in there with Steve, and we paid for it, and he thought like lap dance, you know what I mean? No, he got the treatment. So she's got him chained up, and she steps up and rips his pants down, throws a bucket of cold water on him, and starts whipping him. This dude actually, like, you could see him go limp with his arms in the wrist like this. He just went limp from the pain. It was so funny. It was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen, man. That happened like 20-something years ago, too. At that same place.
I'm trying to remember what that place is called. I've only been there I've been there twice, and both of them were for
I think it's
concerts.
Trixie's. It's Trixie's, I
Trixie's, yeah,
believe.
that's what it's called.
Yeah, they had this little room, man. We put on. Steve looked like Pee Wee Herman too. If you remember Pee Wee Herman,
Oh yeah.
that's what Steve looked like, just a younger one. You know what I mean? This is his 18th birthday. We're all 18, 19. And we go in there. We're like, yeah, we pay for it. It was so funny. He was going, ow. She hit him with this cat of nine tails. Ow. After dumping cold water on him. Humiliating, but funny to us. And it's a memory.
That's
It's what
freaking
friends
awesome.
do. I know. So I commend
Oh yeah, I
you
can
for
see that.
embarrassing your dad.
And the first time was with my dad, and the second time was for another concert. And this is like one of my favorite stories to tell because like it was the wildest week ever for me, and I didn't even do anything wrong. So it was like in March, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it was the night before. Yeah, the night before, and my sister lived with me at the time, and I needed to get money out for something. And so it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go to the bank real quick and get some money out of the ATM for tomorrow or for whatever it was. And she was like, okay. I didn't even put socks on. I just like slid some tennis shoes on over my socks, and I drove to the bank that was downtown, and the ATM was broke for whatever reason. So I went to the Uptown bank, and while I was up there, I was like, I guess I'll stop by the car wash. And so I went to the car wash. It's like 1:30 in the morning. And as I'm pulling back around out of the car wash, I was getting a FaceTime call from one of my friends. And I didn't really, where we lived at the time, like where my dad lives now, cops are real stupid all the time. Like, I don't mess with them. And so she was like video chatting me. And if I had been anywhere else, I would have just like held my phone and just drove. But so I stayed right there in the parking lot, and I talked to her on the phone for like 2 hours. And so I was like, hey, it's like 3 a.m. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to get off here. And she was like, okay. And so I started driving home, and I get like not even half a mile out down the road from the car wash, and I just see cop lights behind me. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't want to mess with the cops, they're terrible. And I was like, great. And so the cop walks up to my window, and he was like, are you Alexandra? And I instantly was like, fuck, I'm in trouble. They know who I am, and I don't know what I did, but I'm in trouble. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, okay. And was like, can you get out of the car? And I was like, and I wasn't arguing with him. I was like, yeah, sure. So I get out, and he starts going through the shit in my car. And I had a brand new car, so there was nothing.
Ugh, terrorist.
One of those air freshener things. And so he picked it up and was being all weird. He was like, what's this for? And was like crinkling it. And I was like, this air freshener that's hanging right next to it. And I like he started getting shitty, and I was like, I don't know why you're getting shitty. And so I was getting mad. And then finally he was like, hey, and I was like, okay. So I pulled into the gas station, and then I get out, and I was like, why did I need to pull my car over here? And he goes, well, I was trying to do you a favor because like I'm going to have to take you to jail. And I was like, what? and I was like, okay, why? And he goes, well, I have a warrant out for your arrest. And I was like, what did I do? And he didn't know. He couldn't tell me what I did. Like, he was like, I don't know. I just know that I have a warrant with your name on it. And I was like, getting real mad. And so I was like, well, I need to call somebody so I can get out of jail because I'm not sitting in jail all night. And he goes, oh, you can bring your phone with you. Just don't take any pictures or videos in the back seat. And I'm like, I'm not taking any pictures and videos. I'm too mad. I just want to go home. And so I'm riding down, and I was like 5 minutes from the police station, and then my house was like 3 blocks down the road, and my sister had just taken her sleep medication, so I knew she was tired, and I knew she was going to be pissed off at me, and I'm like calling her, and I'm like, please don't be asleep because Dad's going to kill me if I have to wake him up. And so I was like, hey, you have my credit card or whatever. I was like, I need you to pull out like as much money as you can. I don't know how much this bond's going to be. I don't know why I'm going to jail. Like, and she's like mad. And so she drives up. She actually beats us there to the police station. And we're sitting there and I was like, that's my sister. And yeah. and so he was like, okay, cool. We just need to wait for them to give us the clear to let you in. And I'm like, can she just go pay it and I can go home? And he was like, no, we got to go by the book. And I was like, whatever. And so I'm sitting there. I sit there for like 35 minutes in the back of this cop car. And I don't know what he was doing up front. He had a computer and he was like ranting about how he didn't know how to use computers and technology was too much for him. And I was like, oh my God, you really are the dumbest cop ever. And it was a state cop. So he didn't know. He probably wasn't from the area either. But
Still, I'm scared right now. At this point of the story, I'm scared. If I'm you, I'm scared. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, this is seriously so stupid. And so I finally, the lady comes over on the radio, found everything out. I was so mad. But apparently she told him like my bond was going to be $500 and something else. And the cop literally turns around and looks at me and goes, $500? What did you do? And I was like, what? And he goes, your bond is going to be $500. What did you do? And I was like, you're the cop, dude. Like, what did I do? Please just enlighten me. And he goes, I don't know. And so he finally pulls me around and they go in and, you know, they check me down to make sure I don't have anything on me. And then I go into like the little lobby and there's this woman in there and she's one of my friends from high school's mom. And she goes, oh my God, Alex, what'd you do? And I was like, dude, I'm hoping you can figure that out for me. And I have like a shit ton of piercings and a lot of them I can't get out on my own. And they were like, you need to take all of that out and everything. And I was like, okay, I'll try. So I took the ones I could out and then I forgot about some of them. And then I have this one in my ear that I couldn't get out. I was like, listen, I give you full permission to reach in there and try to get it out, but it's not coming out unless, you know, someone else does it. And they're like, you can leave it. And then like I walk in there and they try to make me so uncomfortable, I feel like. And they did like this body scan and they're like, are you sure you took out all your jewelry? But like so long story short, I finally go back in there and she's like, I made some phone calls and nobody knows why you're here. And I was like, well, that's just great. Like, okay. So I pay the $500. They give me a court date and I was standing in that one spot because they take your shoes as soon as you walk in and they give you a little square like on the tile and they're like, just stand there. So I'm standing there barefoot because I didn't wear socks for like an hour and a half. And my sister had been there the whole time. And they finally like let because I had to pay an extra $150 for like the living costs or whatever for being in jail, which I never got that $150 back. Wow. But so I went to court that following Tuesday or whenever, and I walk up, they finally call my name, and I'm standing in front of a judge. I didn't bring a lawyer because, like, I knew I didn't do anything. And they were like, you owe us all this money, and you didn't pay it, and you didn't.
Wasn't it like parking tickets or something?
No, it was just like my warrant was for failure. I didn't show up for a court date that I apparently had. That was what the whole thing was. And so like they're asking me these questions and I'm like, listen, I'm telling you right now, everything you're saying to me is a lie. Like, I know that's not something you should say to a judge, but like I'm telling you straight up, like you are lying to me. And they were like, we're not lying. That's why you were in jail. Like that. That's why all this happened. And so I was like, I turned to the lady sitting on the computer next to the judge. And I was like, I want you to pull up my record right now. Like, I want you to pull it up, and I want you to show me everything that's in it. There was nothing. There was literally nothing when she pulled it up. And the judge was like, oh, okay, well, you can go then. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to, and I want my money back. And so I got the $450 or whatever it was, but I didn't get that $150 back because I spent time in jail, which is so stupid. And so
you had to pay for that square you stood on.
Yeah, I had to pay for that square. Like, they didn't want my germs or something. Like, cost $150 to clean the square. Like, cheap
Always
asses.
something. I've done that before. I've had a charge and went to jail and got out of it and spent the weekend in jail. And then it always ends up like, regardless if you're wrong, from my understanding of what happened to me, wasn't wrong, but I only had to pay $50. So I got out better than you. But there were still like court fees. And I went up and I griped at the prosecutor. I was like, hey, man, charges are dropped. There's nothing, there's nothing going on here. And he was dropping it already because he knew it was bull crap, man. It was a meathead cop that I went to school with, man, and we kind of got into it. And the dude was like, I could have sued the police department, honestly, but I didn't. I was just like, let's drop it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
but they still was like $55. I remember it was $55. I had to go pay for court fees, and I was like, I went back up to the prosecutor, and he was just like, he was in a meeting too. Like, I opened the door too to his office and was like, hey, man, and he was in there with like a bunch of dudes in suits. I don't know what was going on. But I was like, hey, man. He was like, look, you're going to have to pay for this. I've let you off. And so I was just like, all right, whatever. I knew he was going to cost me money, and turned around and walked off. I paid it to the clerk and didn't do nothing that night. It was basically an argument that I wasn't even involved in, and a meathead cop. Stupid.
Yep. I mean, I feel you 100%. I went to jail for something I didn't do.
Yeah.
They had no record of it either. And so I don't even know how they arrested me.
Yeah.
You have a warrant, though.
Yeah, but the thing was, it was like March 11th, March 15th when they arrested me. But they said the warrant had been out since like the beginning of February. So it had been out for over a month. And like, I lived 3 blocks from the police department. And it wasn't my first time in jail. They knew where I lived. So why did they just wait until one day I was at the car wash?
Yeah. And why did they even have a warrant out? Because here's the thing. If you had a warrant out for a failure to appear, it was probably for some ticket, I wouldn't even call it a misdemeanor. So why do you even waste people's time? Why do you waste the cops' time, the court's time, having you in jail when you really didn't originally do anything wrong, when there's killers out there and rapists and bad people? You know what I mean? And it's like, now they got you in there and they're wasting time. And he's like, oh, and you got to go, hey, look up my record. And then the judge is going, yep, okay. Well, $150 though. And they made money. So that's why.
Oh, yeah. They make money about anything they do. And that's what's insane to me.
Bad.
And that's why you'll never go to the car wash in the middle of the night ever again.
Yeah, that's about the only lesson I learned is don't go to the car wash at 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's good.
Like any other hour, I guess, is fine, but not 1.
You shouldn't have been there. They ain't got nothing to do. You know what I mean? They're looking for trouble. And the next thing you know, they were like, this chick right here, get her. She's the worst one out here. Let's pull her over.
I think it's
only one out here.
He had like a brand new car. They still knew exactly who you were.
She's selling drugs. Who knows? She got a brand new car. Pulling you over, next thing, making up a case just because he wants his points. Ridiculous.
Also, to Michael, as a Raiders fan, it's sad to see Alex retire, but what an amazing career. Alex better walk away on a high note. I definitely agree with that. I'm sad that you're a Raiders fan, but I'm happy that you appreciated his career. I hope that your team gets their organization back together because they're kind of in a weird place right now. But I just want to say thanks for that comment because not all Raiders fans are that nice to Chiefs fans.
I was excited when the Raiders moved to Las Vegas. You know what I mean? And mixed martial arts, the Fertitta brothers, they own the UFC. They're the ones that sold it to WME. And, they got this team now in Las Vegas. I thought they were going to do big things, but it hasn't happened. It's like the curse is still going on from what I saw last season. Kind of stepped it up, but they're still crap.
Yeah,
something's
I feel
missing.
like it's kind of like hit or miss moving to Vegas. Like it could be like huge or it could be really, really bad because like Vegas owns like all the betting money and like the sports betting and the casino money and like everything. And so, it kind of if you're one of those kind of people, it might sketch you out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I
like
never
if
thought
my
about
team
that.
moved to Las Vegas, I'd be real timid about it.
Yeah, I never thought about that. That's a good point.
Yeah, because I work in a casino, so I've met every type of gambler you could possibly think of. I have weird people who, if I have to reset their machine, they won't let me put my card in it. Like, I have people who ask me to touch their game, or they'll, I ask for change and want me to like rub their bills and stuff before I give it to them. Like weird things, like super superstitious and paranoid and weird things. And so like I've seen it all.
Yeah.
And I feel like moving to the main location of where gambling is, I feel like that's a gamble in itself. Because like Vegas controls everything. And
Yeah.
does that mean
Yeah.
Vegas controls your team? Because like that would get in my head, honestly. Like if my
I'm not
team
mad at that.
lost every single home game, I would blame Vegas. Like,
Yeah.
and that happened. That happened with the Raiders a couple of their home games, and I'm just like, I just started seeing memes about it, like where the only team in Vegas doesn't win or something like that. Thinking about that earlier in the season, and I'm like, well, that's really weird. What if that is a thing? Also, Michael said, I hope Alex Smith becomes a head coach. He can do it. Yeah, I don't think he could go straight into being a head coach, but it'd be super cool of him to like start off as like a quarterback's coach or something in Kansas City and just kind of work his way up because Andy Reid's not going to be there forever. They do have him for at least like 5 years, I think, but someone needs to come up underneath of him and build with him. So when the time does come for Andy to hang it up, someone will be there to fill his shoes.
I think it goes Andy Reid, BNMA, and then Alex Smith.
Dude, that'd be so sick. Like, seriously, like, I'm getting all jacked up about that. The thought of it, because Andy's like, I got first dibs on him. Like, he's going to be mine if he wants to coach. And I'm like, do whatever you can to get that man back underneath of you. I'll buy you a cheeseburger, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Guess that's about all you need. He loves his cheeseburgers, and I'll buy you 50 cheeseburgers. I don't care. Get that man over there with you. If he can come back to football, he's yours.
Yeah, give him a cheeseburger and a Hawaiian shirt, and he'd be set.
Dude, I think I'd be set for a cheeseburger and a Hawaiian shirt, honestly.
I have no Hawaiian shirts anymore. I used to have one.
I have a shirt that has like flamingos and stuff on it, but it's not really a Hawaiian shirt.
Mm-hmm. I had the best Hawaiian shirt ever. I don't know what happened to it. I think somebody stole it, but I had a Wu-Tang. It had a bunch of killer bees all over it and Wu-Tang symbols, but it was Hawaiian style. It was the best one ever.
That's pretty sick.
Lost that about 20 years ago. Yeah, it was pretty badass. Love that shirt. Probably be worth money now.
Probably so.
Oh, I bet it would.
That so.
He taught Mahomes very well. Chiefs should do a ring of honor for Alex Smith. Yeah, I agree completely. I know that Patrick Mahomes is talented. I will never take away from that. And I said this earlier today that like I think the reason Patrick Mahomes is so mature at a young age in the league is because of him. If you don't have a good leader, someone to look up to teach you when you first get there, because coming from college to pros in any sport is really overwhelming. It's a big change. Everything's different. You're playing the same game, but all the rules are different and everything, and it's a lot faster. It's a faster paced game, and I think he did
And you
such
got
a
the
great
best of
job
the
teaching
best.
Mahomes everything.
I feel bad because I hear about how well he did, even though they didn't win the Super Bowl. Like everybody was about Patrick Mahomes this year, and I haven't watched the last few seasons. And like, I didn't even watch the Super Bowl this year. I only watched Baltimore Ravens on offense, sometimes Carolina because of Teddy, but it's like I missed that, and I don't know what I missed. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, this guy is the next best thing, and he's already doing it at a young age. So for him to do that coming out of college, like you're saying, that's special. Chiefs are going to get it next year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's only like 6 months older than me, which I always sit at home and I like
Amazing.
get all like disappointed that all of these famous athletes, a lot of them are younger than me. Like Joe Burrow with the Bengals he's younger than me by like a year, and like it's just like, well, what am I doing with my life? He's making
Mhm.
millions of dollars a year. Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes
he's
is the highest paid
coach.
quarterback ever. He makes
Yeah,
like $30K an hour for the next 10 years.
and he's your age. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
I'm 44. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
it just blows my mind how it just I don't know, like it makes me feel like this big in the world.
Mm. Well, it's a very minute number that make it to that level and do that. So he's he's on the next level. We're all just the same, so don't feel bad about that.
Oh, I don't feel bad about it. It's all
We
just
can't all
jokes
be
for me.
Patrick
I laugh
Mahomes.
about it.
Yeah.
I've personally 24, almost 25. I'm really content because like, you can it's hard to compare to yourself to celebrities your age, but if you just compare yourself even to like people that is your age, and I don't even really like to do that because like I feel like people could be making double what I make a year or half as much as I make a year and think that that is successful to them, and so like I don't want to take away from anybody else's what they think is good or bad, but where I'm at, like I really feel like I'm doing pretty well. Like I'm not like very, egotistical or anything. Like I
That's
don't
all
like
that
myself
matters,
most
though.
days, but
That's
I'm
all that
happy with
matters.
where I'm at.
That's all that matters. Trust me, I spent many years pursuing a job where I made double what I make now, and I was never as happy as I am now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
know
I'm
exactly
so
what you mean.
content. I would rather be Patrick Mahomes. Don't get me wrong. But it is what it is. So be proud of you. I gotta get off here though. I'm about to heat up these home fries, and I'm probably gonna really tick my girlfriend off if I keep talking because it's late. So it's been great, gals. All right.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for coming by. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, we'll
Hope,
talk in the future, definitely.
yeah, hopefully you can jump in
Okay.
on another one.
Yeah, I hope so. Y'all study up. Get into MMA.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry,
That's two
I like
women's
cut out
fights this
for a
week.
second and I missed like Yeah, I'm glad you stopped by. I was like getting really like anxious being on here by myself, and I was telling her before I went live, like I was like my heart is beating so fast, like I don't know what to do with my dad's my safety blanket.
Hmm.
And so
I
I
kind of
went on
called
by
in.
myself as long as I could.
I thought he was going to call in too eventually, but I saw you on there by yourself, and I was like, I don't know. The conversation at the beginning just hyped me up, and I wanted to call in too. We could talk sports in the future, though. It's going to be fun.
For sure.
We're here now. We're here now.
Yep. We are
All
here
right.
now, and we're here every Thursday too, right after Dad does whatever he's doing. I don't know if you're going to be on Dad's show this coming Thursday, but I know things that not everyone knows yet, and it's going to be pretty funny. So I'm excited for it.
I'll be there definitely. I don't know about calling in. It just depends on my mood. You caught me in a rare mood tonight. I always call in on Saturday live streams. I've got my own show and everything. Not my own show, but I call into a show, I should say.
Right.
But yeah, you caught me in the right mood, but I'll be there Thursday.
For sure. It should be
I'll
fun.
watch.
I'm excited for his stream. I'm excited for my stream, even though, like, neither of us have our stuff ready for that yet. So it's going to be more of an impromptu thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we can talk about some Lamar and some Teddy, and I'll try to be nice.
I need to leave them alone. Maybe Lamar. Teddy right now, he's got to come back and he's got to get his starting position and be healthy, you know?
I was going to say,
Other than
Teddy
that,
needs,
I can't talk about him. As much as I love him.
he needs to get healthy and stay healthy.
I'll give you that.
Guy.
I like Teddy more than I like Lamar.
Me too. I love Teddy's mom. I met Teddy's mom, and she's a great lady too. Her name is Rose also, matter of fact. But
sweet.
Anyways, like the first game I ever saw him play live, I went to Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington against UK. I'm in all red, U of L. You know what I mean?
That's dangerous.
Like, oh yeah. Trust me, I got heckled on the way in, but we won. And a young Teddy, he came in for Will Stein, and it was the most dirtbag quarterback. And I love Will Stein, but he was shit. You know what I mean? Because we got great quarterbacks, but young Teddy comes in, he wins that game after Will Stein gets hurt, and I saw that kid do that, and he built that program, and
I remember that
amazing.
Game.
Oh, it was great. It was great. This chick, she was going, Moorhead, and I thought she was saying forehead, and I was like, are you talking about my forehead? Like, I don't get it. And she was going Moorhead because we had just lost in the NCAA tournament in basketball to Moorhead. But when I came back out of the stadium, I didn't see her and our little heckling buddies. You know, there were a bunch of like college students, and it, you know, neither here nor there. But either way, I didn't see her. I got heckled on the way in. I came out a champion, and it was all because of Teddy Bridgewater. And he continued to kick ass, and I hope he comes back.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he does well. He needs to get out of Carolina first.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But
I mean, I feel like that story is like the definition like of my story with becoming a Chiefs fan. Like seriously, like I get heckled to this day thinking that I get called like a bandwagoner fan and all of that just because they're doing well now. And that's how it is when any team turns their team around and starts doing well. But, you know, Alex Smith took a 2-14 team to the playoffs the following year. And, you know, it was because of him. You know, they had literally the worst quarterbacks ever before him. They were so bad. And I understand why, you know, people didn't like them. But their fan base is literally so amazing. And they stuck with them through 0-16, which is the most humiliating thing in the NFL, I think. And but yeah, I followed Alex Smith there because like I saw what he did in college and I just like fell in love with him. I don't
You know what? I drew a blank earlier. Didn't he play for Utah?
It was just incredible to watch, and so
yeah,
you know it's the same thing with Teddy Bridgewater. Whatever Alex Smith does for the rest of his life, I am supporting him and hoping he does well.
Yeah.
But I'll let you go enjoy your house fries or whatever you said because you cut out when you said it.
Home fries, they're gonna be so good.
Fries. I thought you said house fries, and I was like, I've never heard someone say house fries before. So
I hope I didn't say house fries because they're home fries, obviously. But I might have said house fries. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think you did. I think Alex is just making shit up over here. But
I mean, it's definitely possible. But like I said, you guys were like just talking, and I could hear Shelby in the other room. Like I could hear her voice. But like both of your screens were gone. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't hear anything. And the last thing I heard in my head was house fries. And then it just went silent. And I was like, I don't even know what house fries are.
You know what? They're home fries, but from here on out, they're house fries.
Hell yeah, house fries for the win.
Yeah. All right. Y'all take it easy, all right?
You have a good one, Colin.
All right, later.
See ya. Ooh. Lost you for a second.
You said nope.
Well, I went to click remove on him, and he had hit it at the same time, so it went to you.
I gotcha.
But back to this guy, Michael. He said, as a Raiders fan, if Derek Carr ever gets traded to another team, before he gets traded, they should draft a quarterback. Derek Carr can mentor, just like Alex Smith, honestly. I think, okay, like, I'm going to be respectful because it's easy to be disrespectful talking about your rival team. But I'm going to be respectful. And I'm going to straight up say I don't like Derek Carr. But I think he has a lot to bring to the table to young rookie quarterbacks. He's been in the league since I was in high school, which has been 6 or 7, 8 years at least.
He has a lot of football knowledge that he can pass on to a younger guy.
He has a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge. And, his coach, as much as their team is like not got their shit together right now, his coach is very intelligent, which is why I'm kind of confused on what's happening with their team. And
it's something's just missing, or something's not right with that team, or I just can't put my mark on it, but it just seems off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is nothing to do with me hating them. I have a lot of respect for that coach, and I have a lot of respect for Derek Carr being loyal to that team after all these years of, dealing with Peyton Manning and now Patrick Mahomes. So I have a lot of respect there for that organization and everyone who stuck together through it. But something is off with that team right now. Like,
granted, they picked up a couple decent players this year.
Yeah, so, Kenyon Drake, but what did they lose in return? They got lost an offensive lineman. This is what I will say about them, is the Raiders. Because Colin was talking about it earlier about if, the Baltimore Ravens offensive line compared to others. I think the Las Vegas Raiders this current season had the best offensive line out of every team. I said the Colts, but that was like on the spot thinking about it. But there's literally a picture of Derek Carr and his line surrounding him. And he had like all the time in the world and not even have to like think about, when am I going to get hit? When am I going to have to run? He had all the time and space in the world. Why would you get rid of any of those guys?
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a money thing. I didn't really look into it to see if it was like a money thing or a cap space thing, but it seemed like complete sabotage to get rid of the players that they got rid of.
Yeah.
They sabotaged themselves.
I agree. Like, I don't understand.
Also, not to change the subject, but everyone, if you're into crypto and you're watching this, go buy some Dogecoin today before it hits its peak.
Dogecoin to the moon.
It's sitting at about 41 cents right now. It looks like it's heading back down a little bit. Supposedly there's supposed to be a big spike today. We'll see how that goes. But get in before it hits $1. You don't want to be the guy that's regretting it before it gets to like Bitcoin levels, if it does. I mean, if not, then you lost a little bit of money. Don't invest what you can't afford, but it's worth a shot, right?
Not financial advice, but if you want my personal advice, I would say buy Dogecoin.
Yeah, no financial advice here. I'm not a financial advisor. And I'm not sponsored by anyone to say this, but that's just my personal opinion. I made a little bit of money off of it so far. Not mad about it at all.
Oh, no. Not mad about it at all. I will continue to buy Doge until it tells me I need to stop.
Yeah.
And so far, it has not disappointed. Also, for Cincinnati Bengals fans, main man Joe Mixon has a lot of Dogecoin, and he says you should buy it too. Now, that dude's probably sponsored by someone, but he said it, so I can quote him.
Dallas Mavericks fans, Mark Cuban also supports Dogecoin very heavily. And if you're not a sports fan and you just happen to be in this for some unknown reason, Elon Musk, if you like him, he supports Doge. Doge to the moon. He's going to put a legitimate Dogecoin on the moon.
Literally, if you're in the real music scene and know who Ronnie Radke is, he buys a lot of Dogecoin. I learned that today, actually. He has a lot of Dogecoin, and he firmly believes that something's going to happen tomorrow. Ronnie Radke is a piece of shit, and I love him, but I also hate him. But he buys Dogecoin, so that is reason for everyone to support him. My sister's calling me.
Oh, apparently Guy Fieri. So we're covering all the bases. So if you like cooking shows, Guy Fieri supports Dogecoin.
1 second. I'm going to leave you solo for just a second. Welcome to your first standoff solo stream.
Oh, no. My first solo stream. Oh, God. Let's see. What are we going to talk about? If you're watching this, go ahead and comment on what you would like to see us talk about Thursday. I think Alex and Shane have something maybe planned.
Hello world.
But
there's my sister eating some foods.
What you eating there, Sadie?
She just popped by to say hello while we were talking about Dogecoin. Sadie,
very nice.
Should you buy Dogecoin?
No, I'm poor.
Should everyone else buy Dogecoin?
Absolutely.
Oh, you hear it here. Everybody else supports Dogecoin, and so does Sadie. So should you.
Okay, well, I missed the call.
Back to what I was saying though. So if you guys have any ideas or topics or anything you'd like to hear about, go ahead and drop a comment below somewhere. What you want to hear us talking about, whether it be this Thursday, the Thursday after. Well, I don't think it'll be that Thursday, but the Thursday after that, whenever you want. We can talk about hockey, soccer, golf. We'll look into some stuff if we don't know what we're talking about. Whatever you want to hear, we'll talk about it. I know we have a lot of baseball and NFL draft coming up.
Okay, I'm back.
We have a lot of baseball and NFL draft coming up, but what else we have coming up, you know?
Well, the NBA playoffs are coming up very soon, and as much as my dad does not watch the NBA, we're going to be talking about that because I will be talking about that. So I might be flying solo. I'll have you for that if I need some backup. The NFL draft is in next week. 9 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. It's almost here. So we're getting real close to the draft. We're going to get real close to seeing if there's a big upset in Jacksonville with Justin Fields getting drafted first or something crazy happening. I don't know. But yeah, I'm as much as I'm not excited about the draft because
you froze.
No. It is the NFL draft. It's happening in Cleveland. It's only 6 hours away from here. We're very close to Cleveland, and so that kind of makes it cool. So we got the NBA playoffs in just a few weeks. We're getting really close. It's on the final stretch of the regular season. I'm probably gonna try to do something in the near future before the playoffs start. I don't know exactly when that's gonna be yet, so don't anyone get excited about it. The NFL draft will be streaming the day of the first round. After the first round's over, we will be on here talking about that, and so everyone should definitely stop by and tell me why you're mad at your team for making the pick they did or why you're super happy and you love it. Baseball season's away. If you're a Cincinnati Red or a Kansas City Royals fan, mostly Cincinnati Reds because we live in Indiana, so I don't get to see a lot of their stuff. But I watch their replays and keep up with their box score, so anyone can hit me up with that and I can tell you what's going on there. But the Cincinnati Reds are still number 1 in their division and going strong, so you will probably see every game update for that from here on out. If you haven't checked out our shorts yet, they're old news because the games have already come and gone, but the Cincinnati Reds took the first series of the Ohio Cup, and they're going to Cleveland very soon to finish that, and hopefully they're going to come away and take the Indians and claim the first Ohio Cup that they can say that they won in a long ass time. So big things happening in Cincinnati right now. If they can continue that momentum, they're going to be doing real good.
Yep. I think we'll probably be trying to hopefully look into some UFC for Colin over here. I don't know how well we're gonna follow that, but we're gonna do our best.
I'm sorry, Colin. I'm going to try. I told you I would try, so I'm going to try. There's a lot of things happening. Alex Smith retired today, and I just want to sit in my room and cry all day. But I will I will try to watch some MMA just to entertain that idea for a little bit. I know that it's not just MMA, it's all combat sports, so I might check out that category. For anybody who's interested, the Major League Soccer season just started this week. So that's something to be excited about.
I'm pretty excited.
I know we like a lot of Cincinnati teams, but don't even try to talk to me about FC Cincinnati. I hate them. I'm not even going to pretend. Like, I hate them. So we'll move on from that.
We can talk about the Columbus Crew.
I am more than willing to talk about the Columbus Crew. I like to watch the LA Galaxy, LAFC rivalry games. Like, I really just enjoy that, and I don't know why, but I'll always watch them. I'm down to watch some of the New York Red Bulls. They're all right. If you want to go like one step below MLS, Louisville FC is going to be a major league team in the next year or two. So when that happens, you're going to see a super fan coming up out of the blue. But don't say you didn't see it coming because I've been following those boys for a long time.
And I'll sit and talk NWSL and the U.S. Women's National Team all day with anyone who wants to hear about that. I don't know if we have any soccer fans in here, but that's more.
I know Wolfcat and Mark are soccer fans. I don't know about some of our other small little community we built, but I know there are at least 2. And Matt just told me he told us the other day he was watching the women's WNBA draft at the Mexican restaurant. So like Matt watches a little bit of everything. If it's on TV, he'll watch it, and he's got a knowledge. I mean, Matt played soccer with us. We watched the World Cups together, and we've got, even the people who don't love it, we all have the base knowledge to follow it.
Yeah, I'm a big soccer fan. Love the U.S. Women's National Team. Orlando Pride, big fan. And now that Louisville has their women's team, I'm looking forward to seeing some of those games. I missed the first couple with the at the new stadium and everything, but I'm looking forward to possibly making a trip down there. See what Alex says. Whether it be for a Louisville FC game. I said I'm looking forward to making a trip down to Louisville to watch a game in that new stadium, whether it be a Louisville FC game or the, like Lou City, whatever we feel like watching. But
honestly, I would be super jacked to see if we can find a doubleheader men's and women's game day and just take the day off and go watch that, because I think that would be super sick.
That would be amazing.
I know you've never watched any Lou City, but they're seriously awesome. They're so underrated just because they're not a major league team yet. But I have literally been there and I have watched them beat major league teams in Louisville. And the last game I went to, they played the New York Red Bulls and they had Will Ferrell from the men's World Cup team. He was playing defense for them when he was playing for the Red Bulls. And I watched Lou City beat them. And that was probably the best soccer game I've ever watched. Lou City is so underrated, and I cannot wait until they come to the MLS and beat some ass so they can finally get the credit that they deserve.
Everyone said that about Cincinnati, and they were a flop for a little bit. So
yeah, but Lou City kicks FC Cincinnati's ass all the time.
Yeah, I'm not
Major
taking
League,
up for
not
them.
Major League. They kick their ass.
I'm not taking up for them. I'm just saying, like, hopefully they turned out better than FC Cincy did.
I know they will. They've got great owners. They've got a hell of a team. And they've got people who want to play for them but won't play for them because they're not Major League and they want, to make better money.
Is Cameron Lancaster still there?
I don't think so. I think he plays for Nashville. They got him on loan this year.
That's right.
And he got to play for a while with them, but he was originally with him, but then he went Major League. And then he got him on loan from Nashville for a couple weeks. So he got to play a couple games. He did score a couple times. I freaking love Cameron Lancaster. He's so awesome. Dude, he's so much awesome. And also Brian Ownby, their wing player. He's like bald and got this huge ass beard. Dude's a monster. Like, the most underrated player in soccer. Dude's a monster.
Now, I'm hoping that get to see Tobin Heath in action with Louisville since they do have her. Technically, I don't think it's likely since she's playing with Man United's women's team, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see if that actually gets to happen. Hopefully it does, but she's busy with the U.S. national team and then Man United's women's team, so who knows what's going to happen. You there?
Are you there?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. It showed you like completely frozen, and I was like, I don't know if it's me or you.
I don't know if it was me or you either, but I feel like that's a decent point to kind of hop out of here on.
Oh yeah, I plan on getting off like fairly soon. I just wanted to reiterate a little bit. Alex Smith did retire today. If anybody watches the late end of this broadcast, I'm still crying about it. Seriously, I thought I was upset last week about Julian Edelman. That doesn't feel anything like this feels, But it happens. I'm happy for him. He's on the sideline.
Look at that. Even got that number 11 jersey on right
anyway,
now.
Well, we are probably definitely getting off of here right now, and we want to go play Call of Duty. What?
I said you even got your number 11 jersey on right now. You ready to cry?
I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to cry. Yeah. We're gonna get off here so we can go cry and play Call of Duty. For anybody who cares, when we move, I will be streaming on Twitch. So everyone in the world can see how bad I am. So, but if anyone ever wants to play Call of Duty with us, just comment on our video and you can come see firsthand how bad we are. And yeah, whatever.
We might be bad, but we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun, and we say a lot of things. a lot of fun things. We've also I've seen a lot of hackers. I've got a real life picture for everyone to see of what it looks like playing against a hacker. Let's see if I can find that. Funny. This is what a record looks like when we play against a hacker. Let's see. Focus.
16 and 75.
Yeah. That was just like 2 days ago. 3 days ago. But when you play against hackers, you get hacked on. What the hell?
All right.
I'm blurry, so that's the perfect time to get off here. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, tell me you hate me, email me, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Discord. I share lots of funny sports memes on there and other sports updates for the channel. And if you want to see Shelby, you can most likely find her on any of those things. She has a photography business. If you want to check it out, it's called Snapshark Photographies. Also, she has a Fiverr account, so if you ever need any thumbnails or pictures edited or whatever, you can find her on all of these socials as well, or you can get with me and I can get you right to where you need to be. It's very feasible to get her work done for you. She is not a millionaire, so she's not going to charge you $1 million. Let's see, did I miss anything? Don't forget that next Thursday we are going to be, or this Thursday and every Thursday until I change my mind and pick a different day at 11 p.m. We will be going live, and I would like to tell you what it's going to be about, but I don't quite know yet. So that's going to be cool in just a couple days. So come check it out. And is there anything you would like to say while we are still broadcasting?
Go Chiefs.
How about them Chiefs?
How about them Chiefs? Happy
yeah,
retirement, Smith. If for some reason you ever come across this video, we love you and you're amazing.
Oh, yes, we love you so much, and I'm so happy for all of you to be here. We hit our 75 subscriber milestone yesterday, and it felt really good. We're on the road to 100, and tell all your friends, tell your family, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brother, your cousins, your Uncle Jimmy, and everyone else you know, even people you hate, tell them so they can come, hate on me. If you hate Tom Brady, I love you even more. If you like Patrick Mahomes, I appreciate you so much because most Chiefs fans don't like him. So, and on that note, I love you so much, and we will see you on Thursday.
See ya.